Welcome everybody. Today I'm going to show you guys how to ring the bells during Mass. As you may remember, last year during Holy Week we were going to implement some changes, and then the pandemic shut everything down, so it's a little hard to remember the new changes. Plus, we don't get to altar serve all the time, so we're going to go over how we need to ring the bells. If you may remember, in the past we only rang the bells twice, but now we're ringing the bells 3 times. So I'm going to show you the 3 times that we ring the bells, and then I'll give you an example of ringing the bells, because they're a little bit different for each thing. So the new part that we added, we used to only ring the bells when Father held up the host and the chalice. But almost as soon as you kneel over there, Father's going to put his hands over the gift and do the invocation of the Holy Spirit. So if you're watching, and this happens almost as soon as you kneel, once you see Father put his hands over the gifts, you need to ring the bells consecutively for 3 seconds. So no pauses or anything, just 3 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. And then he's going to hold up the bread and say, which will be given up for you. And then you're going to ring the bells 3 separate times. So you hear a pause each time. So you're going to go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, pause. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, pause. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, pause. And I'll explain this. I know that's a lot. And you're going to ring the bells the same way when he holds up the chalice. We're going to ring the bells three separate times. So just remember, this is kind of what we're struggling on, is this hand signal. So when Father comes up here, almost as soon as you kneel, as soon as you see his hands going over the gifts, that's the first time that we're going to ring the bell, and that's the new one that we're doing that we didn't do in the past. Everyone's really good with the host and the chalice. So let me give you an example of how to ring the bells. So as we talked about, the first time we ring the bells is going to be different than all the other times. And the very first time, of course, is when he puts his hands over the gifts. How I learned to ring the bells, and which works really good, I think, is to think of the bells like the Trinity. So everything is going to be in 3s. We're going to ring the bells 3 separate times, once for this, once for the host, and once for the chalice. First time we ring it, we're going to ring it for 3 seconds. The second and third time we ring it, when he holds up the chalice and the host, we're going to ring it 3 separate times for 3 seconds each time. So just like the Trinity, think of the thirds. So and then they're going to be quick Mississippis, because we could kind of go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and the bells would take forever. So they're as fast as you can count Mississippi, or 1/1000, whatever you've learned how to do. So the very first time you see his hands go over, as soon as you see that, we're going to do 3 consecutive seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Okay, 3 consecutive Mississippis as fast as you can count. And then the second time and the third time, we're going to ring it 3 separate times, and we want to hear a pause each time we ring it. And each time we ring it, we're still going to do 3 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Okay, and that's when he raises the host, and then when he raises the chalice, it's the same thing. So just 3 very fast seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. It's better to have too long of a pause between the rings than not a long enough one. So you don't want to do this. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Be sure you hear a pause. So listen to this difference as I ring it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Wait for them to almost stop. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. So hopefully you could hear that. They almost stop between the rings. And again, just do the seconds, whether you count seconds with Mississippi or 1,000 or however you learn, just do it as fast as you can. So just to recap, very first time when he puts his hands over the gifts, 3 solid seconds. When he raises the host and he raises the chalice, those are the same. You ring them 3 times for 3 seconds each time, the pause in between. So if you have any questions about this or it seems confusing, please ask me or Oscar or Father Tilly before you see us for Mass. And again, thank you for your service and everything that you guys have helped us with. We love having you guys serve here at the altar, and we will see you soon. Thank you for your ministry.